All right, we should be live. What's going on, everybody? Got my guy, the PhD, in here with me. He's the only one that I know that does like three times the underdog drafts that I do. But how you doing, man?
Cheers, doing good. You're good enough, you're strong enough, and gosh darn it, someone's got to win that money. Gotta say it.
Yep, might as well be us.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I've been wanting to do a stream or something about underdog for a while. I just think there's a lot of money over here that people are just like they're chasing the wrong players. They're like the projections are off, and I mean we've been all over it. I've been having an absolute blast on underdog, especially over like the past like week and a half, 2 weeks. There's just big leverage in my opinion in both contests, and they're feeling, which is what we want to see.
Yeah, it's a new game. I mean, it's been around for what, 2.5 weeks or something. So I feel like you got a lot of people who are just underdog people and they don't know the WNBA. And then you got a lot of people who are WNBA people, but they're just getting used to underdog. So there's leverage for anybody who gets to know the new game the fastest. So it's pretty sweet.
Yep. Yeah, I really like it. There's definitely some spots you can attack today. You want to hop in one?
Oh, yeah, sure. Good idea.
Let's do a five. Oh, you've already maxed a three, so you can't do the three.
I cannot do the three, no.
I'm ready when you are.
All right, boom. Hitting the button.
I'm in with you. And of course, like I've got my rankings up. They're going to be a lot different than Underdog's rankings. Oh, look at us, 1 and 2.
Hey, I'll take one. One's a good spot.
Yeah. See, I've been getting a ton of 1 today, so I don't have any Eureka yet. So that's
I was happy yesterday to not get that much of 1. 1 was not a significant advantage on that slate with like Wnba, and then there's arguably 4 people who could have been like right up there with the same projection. But
and see, like this 2-game slate is a lot better than yesterday's. Yesterday, like you mentioned, like if you got pick 1, do you take Wnba and hope she's back to like first of the year Wnba? Do you take AT and hope that she plays well, or do you take one of the Phoenix like Kalia Copper or BG and hope that they go nuts? Like it didn't matter where you picked. If you picked early, you had to pick right. If you picked later on in the first round, it seemed like you got a lot more of an advantage.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I kind of always think of it as a U shape. I mentioned this to you, I think, but there's a U shape of easiness, a U shape of control, and I think generally like on an underdog, if you're first or fourth in these 4 persons, you have an advantage because for a couple of picks, nobody else gets to make a pick in between your picks, Whereas like if you're in the middle, everybody gets to make a pick in between your picks every time. And to me, that's a significant disadvantage. I don't know if it's like actually like game theory wise a disadvantage, but
it feels like it. Like just over the past like week and a half, just doing drafts, it feels like there's a definite disadvantage at some picks compared to others. And it's like, I know it's completely random, like where you're drafting from, but it does seem like you can get bad variance if you do a lot of drafts. I mean, and you just get saddled with the 2 spot or the 3 spot over and over and over again. And you never, like on a slate with Asia Wilson, you obviously want some 1 spots because she's clearing away the best player, not only in the WNBA, but on Underdog. I mean, she's averaging like almost 1.7 fantasy points a minute, like with FanDuel scoring. So she's so far and away ahead of everyone else. Like it's crazy.
I don't really play FanDuel a lot, so getting used to the FanDuel scoring is a lot of this for me, and like prioritizing people who have more stock upside, I guess, is what that is mostly about.
Yeah. But like, see right here, I personally have Jackie ahead of SDS. I've been taking quite a bit of SDS, but here I'm going to take Jackie. I'm just a big Jackie supporter.
Yeah, I've been putting back Ariel Atkins a lot with the stack with the Aces.
Yeah.
Because I mean, if Asia has an upside game, that probably means Ariel got there. And then I have this choice. I guess if Skylar's still around, I'll take her.
Yeah. And see, when you took Skylar there, obviously I'm hoping she falls back to me, but it's unlikely. And here I rate Horston higher than Plum, but it's super, super close. But for me, I already have Jackie Young. I'm going to take Kelsey Plum and maybe hope Chelsea Gray falls back to me, and I can just triple stack the Aces guards.
Oh no, I don't get another pick before you. You may actually get that Chelsea Gray pick.
But
I was about to say, well, it's not going to happen.
You're probably going to get Aaliyah Edwards because I don't think anyone's going to take her for reasons. I don't know.
Why is
But yeah, I love the stacks on Underdog, especially if you can get them. There's players. I mean, we can talk about them who are dropping like crazy. Like I have Kia Stokes ranked in my rankings at 16, ahead of like Uzan and Billings, ahead of Mayshawn Allen and SWK. I have her a whole lot. I mean, you can get her. She's practically free.
Yeah, that's the only reason I would say not to do that. It's like you can really get her with the last pick and all those.
Well, yeah. See, typically I'll kind of wait and see and not take her, just to see if there went Chelsea Gray. Also, Jordan Horston fell back to me at pick 15. My number 10. Well, one pick from Gray would have been cool to have all three Aces guards.
Oh yeah. I have one with the big three with Jo and Gray and okay, who did I do? Yeah, I get Edwards. Yeah, makes sense. But then I have the next one too. Been doing this a lot, but I think it is still probably best. You're a big Stokes guy. I'm not gonna use that knowledge against you. I will take the person I'm going to take anyway. Yeah, I'm a Shatori person still.
I was gonna say I have her ranked a little lower than Mayshawn Allen. That's probably wrong. Probably needs to be swapped just with her minutes that she's been playing. I'm really thinking about not taking Stokes here because she typically falls back. But
yeah, you get that pick before me too in the last round. So
yeah, I'm gonna take Uzan. Just her minutes are not the greatest, but she's playing. Like she's gonna play high 20s minutes, and she's been pitching in the peripherals. So like, see, Inksler has started to fall a little bit though. So that's at least people are getting sharper on that.
So what do you think about Uzan and Sheldon with Odyssey in there? What's the long term? What's it going to be like for them? Your first game?
I really don't know. Like Odyssey's not doing what she did last game. Like I mean, she's last year with Dallas, she averaged like 2.2 points per game. So obviously just a massive ceiling game from her. But the minutes, like I understand she probably played more because like she was playing well. She's a good defender, and Trammell trusts her. But I think it's going to hurt Uzan and Sheldon both. I think both of them are going to end up around like 25 to 28 minutes a night. Kia Stokes fell back to me, but that leaves JC Sheldon for you.
Nice. Yeah, that's where I'm thinking. I sometimes have gone Melbourne with this pick.
Melbourne, Didi, like there's a lot of really.
I mean, I might take what's my setup like? Yeah, it's not an Alicia Clark team. Okay, so I'll take Sheldon. And then just hope I get happy with that.
That's fun. That quick and easy and painless. It's a lot of fun. I love doing these drafts. I'll be sitting at work and just start one. And if I get busy, like I'll turn autopilot on and just let it auto draft for me. But they're just a blast. Like, and you can churn out a ton of them in like a short amount of time.
Yeah, for sure. I was going to say a couple things for people who don't know the Underdog game type and like how are things different from DraftKings, because I'm guessing most of the audience knows you from the DraftKings videos and knows the bigger product.
Take the floor.
And it took me a long time, man. It took me a long time to figure out that ownership on this platform. That's like all of what you do on DraftKings. Like you're getting all these 5 different people give you ownership projections, right? Well, here the ownership. For anybody who's taking every single draft of like first 5 rounds, 25%. That's in a draft with 4 people in it or 6 people in it, 17%. The ownership. So when you draft a lot, like I like to do with MME, you know your exact leverage, right? When you've drafted a lot. Now, some of them you're just getting lucky, right? Like with Asia in the first spot or something. But beyond that, you need to be comfortable with what is your leverage versus the ownership, because it's real. Like, you know, I talk about it all the time on streams or whatever when you're doing DraftKings stuff, to think about getting a little different here or there, but you're always doing that versus some assumed ownership. Here, it's not assumed. Here, you know for sure by the structure of the game what the ownership is. The other thing is structurally different is you don't need both games. If you have one game like yesterday that's way, way better, you can full stack that game. You don't have to have one run back piece from the other game because of the game type or whatever. Now, is that necessarily going to work out? I'm not sure I've ever seen that actually win, even with overtime, but technically different between the games. And then the third thing is, I mean, I guess it's the same between platforms, but they have a lot of visible info, and I get the feeling a lot of people just use what's there, like the box score watchers from DraftKings, right? So whenever the visible info, these projections, Q tags, or whatever, last 3 games are wrong or misleading, that's where to back up the bus. And similarly, if somebody's had a good last 3 games or it is projected ridiculously high, like for me on this slate, I don't think you should have McCowan at 27.3 for a median. So I can't really get there at the place where most people are taking her. I'm like a couple spots behind. And so, you know, whenever you have that sort of thing, keep an eye out and make your projections separately before you look at these projections. That's what I mean. Like, I know Cody actually does that, but have in your mind when you're making the rankings, right? The rankings come with their projections. And so you should know, make rankings before you make the actual drafts, right? Like the first 2 or 3 days on here, I didn't even see that. And I was just like, click, 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 my favorites or whatever.
Yeah.
You should definitely just hand build your rankings separately from their projections. So you're not, so that you're doing it independent of all those numbers that I'm saying other people are being, you know, colored by or whatever. So yeah, those are the 3 main things. Beyond that, it's all just like virtuous things of having the draft change your correlation. So like one thing I like SaberSim for on DraftKings, it saves me from all my like in my head correlations and stuff that I do naturally or because of salary or whatever. You don't need that here. You got like 3 other guys in the draft saving you for all your correlations, right? Yeah, there's a lot of virtues like that, you know, just happen and you don't have to know about them. But
yeah, I think there's a lot. I think there's a big edge on here. Uses FanDuel scoring. I don't know if most people don't know that, but if you play on Underdog, like if you do pick'ems or anything on Underdog, it makes like fantasy score wise. There, if you're looking like Prize Picks to Underdog, like people like Asia might be her fantasy score might be projected higher on Underdog. The stock upside is really big on these players like Asia Wilson, like a Ezzy Magbagor. Ezzy always seems to fall most days. Like today, she's not. I mean, today she is the consensus number 3 pick. But like there was days like 2-3 games ago where she was going like 9th or 10th, and with the scoring that they run, I mean, she's typically like a top 4, top 5 play on virtually every slate.
We wonder how they do.
We just had a guy go Asia, Gray, and Plum. I love that. Yeah, the aces stack. I think the sneaky stack today is Washington, because the aces don't play defense and they want to play as fast as possible. Washington's shown the ability to score of late. So, I mean, it's gross because there's not a lot of great Washington plays. Like if you look, obviously, like people are low on Atkins. I think Atkins is a great play. Usage is there. I think Aaliyah Edwards is being slept on. I have her ranked ahead of everyone, all the other bigs. I have her ranked ahead of Dolson. And then like all their bench plays, like Shatori Walker-Kimbrough, she's playing like high 20s minutes and is going in like the late 5th, early 6th round. And there's a lot of value there.
You got a couple projections here I just want to point out are definitely wrong. Horston's projection, definitely wrong. Should be like almost 30, right? 28, 29. Yep. Edwards, like that's assuming a minutes limit. That's assuming she's back and only playing 20 minutes or something. Because if Aaliyah Edwards is playing 30 minutes, that should be like 27. And there was somewhere else in this region, like a little bit below there that, was clearly just off on the projection. Yeah, Stokes today, 13.5 is clearly just like Stokes is ridiculous. It should be 18 or something just for intermediate for her.
Yep. And then like typically
Kimbrough.
Yep. Typically what I do, like when the slate drops, I usually will build all my projections before I start drafting. And then I go in and update my rankings into theirs and see how far off and see what, like, the first rough draft of leverage that I can find. Like, to me, Jordan Horston, just like you mentioned, projected for 22 projection. You scroll down here, she's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. She's projected 16th on their board behind Emily Ingsler. Then if you go over to my board, she is 10th, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. She is 10th. She is ahead of Kelsey Plum in my personal rankings. Like, I agree with you on McCowan. I think if you don't mind burning your money and you can get her, I think she is like the quintessential killer of your underdog lineups, or she can win you a lot of money. It just depends where she's going too. Like, I don't have her in any draft yet because she's going at about what I figure. But anytime she falls, I don't mind taking shots on her. But it's pretty rough on someone like her because, like, not many people are talking about it. She's down to 24 minutes a game. I mean, she played extremely well last time out and still only played 24 minutes. And we all know if she plays bad, she may play 10 minutes and be gone and never to be seen again.
Yeah, it was too bad to see that happening to Natasha. I didn't think Natasha would have the same thing. She got like 8 minutes on the bench there in the second half with no foul trouble yesterday when I needed her to not do that. So.
Yeah, which, see, I don't really know what happened there. Like, I know she wasn't playing well, but no mention. Like, I mean, the 2 games before that, her minutes were ticking up, and then they drop them down to, like, I think she played like 28 or 29. She always projects well because she typically does everything. She does have some stock upside. Like, I usually have to lower my projections on her because she is one of, like, the top 5 that just pop every slate. Like, when I did my original run of projections, she was at 4, and most of the time you could get her at like 7 or 8. Let's see, Cody, can we see a little rankings, maybe the top players? My rankings are right here on the right, compared to Underdog's original rankings right here in the middle. I wanted to leave that up, so if anybody wanted to see, pretty much there's not a lot of changes. Like, if you look here, like, obviously Asia's 1, Enrique 2, Ezzy 3, NECA is 4. I think there's merit to taking Natasha Howard at 4, but it's really hard to pass up on the Seattle stack if you are the 4 spot, where you can just go NECA and Lloyd because we know Dallas plays no defense. But I'm always bullish on Natasha Howard. She is one of those players that fits perfect for these, like, drafts. But we'll leave that up for a bit and let people check them out, and then we'll hop in another one and see what kind of goodness we can get.
Yeah, if you're doing a lot of them too, it's important to remember which combos you've done with people. Yep. So, like, 3 and 4 spots a day, like having enough Ezzy and NECA, Ezzy and Jewel and NECA, Jewel and Natasha, Ezzy and Natasha, all the different combos. That's where it's a little bit, sometimes you can rely on other people, but you got to also drive the bus a little bit, for sure.
If you're doing a lot of drafts, you definitely don't want to condense yourself into, like, the same 2 over and over and over and over again. Now, obviously, like 5th and 6th round, it's different. There's clear value plays in the 5th and 6th round. You can get Aaliyah Edwards practically anytime in the 5th round, and sometimes, like, if you're the 3 or 4, late 5th, she may even fall to you early 6th. We mentioned Stokes as one we're high on. I'm not that high on Billings. I think her projection is just really high. And then Van Loo's projection is really high for how many minutes she's been playing. Like, Dolson's projection is just outlandish.
People aren't buying it though. I will say, like they're drafting her, where she's
Yeah,
going.
they are starting to trickle down. Like last night, the couple drafts that I did, Dolson was going like late second, early third, and like now she's ticked back down to like that mid third, maybe even late third, and you're starting to see a little bit of an uptick for Edwards. But yeah, probable tag, like probable to play. So she and the 19.4 projection is a bit low. I mean, even I have her projected. I projected her minutes lower than what she was playing when she was active and playing every day. She was typically playing like 29, 30 minutes. I have her projected for 26, and that projection is off by almost 5 fantasy points. So she's the clear value to chase right there. And then late round targets. I know me and you have already talked about like we're high on like SWK if you can get her, Stokes, Uzan, Sheldon. She's a really great late round target. Dee Melbourne. Really, what do you look for in a sixth round play? Like when you're looking for upside, or like are you looking to correlate it most times?
No, not really correlating it. So like number one, yeah, it's how often are they being taken? So like it's not like the other rounds, the sixth round, right? Because you don't get 100% drafting of all these people. You get like 50% or lower. So if I got a chalky lineup, I'll consider like a leverage play or something, like a weirder one, a shooter or something in that the spot. But I'll have my chalk plays that I'm like going to for sure, like today, what is it completed? Exposure, I guess it's got to be like Sheldon I'm going to a lot, and then Kia Stokes a lot in the last round probably. I don't think I'm getting Walter Kimbrough in the last round.
Yeah, I think she's been going like mid fifth, but she's been playing so well of late. Like not even typically like last season she was really scoring dependent, but she's been pitching in. I mean, she's a good defender, so she always has some steal upside. But I mean, she's been pitching in the peripherals. I think you're spot on in the sixth round. I think Stokes is a fantastic sixth round target. Just because she has some block upside. Sheldon, assuming she plays well, like I mean, she played really, really bad and still saw 26 minutes against Minnesota. So the minutes are there for her. I mean, Dee is a fine play, assuming she starts. That's my only worry with picking someone like Dee in the sixth round is the Washington coach has already said it's going to be like the fifth starter is going to be like matchup based. But going up against Jackie Young at the 3 for the
Ace. Be a blowout too. I mean, right. She's going to get in there even off the bench for a few.
But then I like Melbourne. I don't mind Hayes. Her minutes did tick down a bit, but I mean, she has some offensive upside. Like if you're looking for an upside play in the sixth round, I much prefer Hayes to Clark. Clark just doesn't offer a lot on the offensive end. She's just not asked to do a lot, and her minutes have ticked down. But then it's really like Van Loo, as her projection's off, but people aren't really drafting her. I mean, she's going to play low 20s minutes. I don't mind taking some shots on her. Edwards going for in the fourth, like regularly. That's about where she should be going, but the drafts that I've been doing, she's been going in the fifth almost every draft. It's been crazy. Like I don't know what's up with that, but you want to do another one?
Yeah, man, let's pop in one. Here we go. Lobby, Saturday Slam, 3, 2, 1.
I'm in. Oh, we may not be in this one together.
Started soon. We'll see.
Oh, we are.
Hey,
I got 3. You got 4. All right.
I'll take 4 of too.
You keep getting sniped. Yep, it is. I cannot tell you guys like the other slate when what was it 2 days ago when the Aces played the Sky. I told everybody I was extremely high on Kennedy Carter. The field caught up to me. She was like 19 ADP, and I had her at 10 on my big board, and I was getting her everywhere. And then about 4 or 5 hours before I finished drafting, she was going like 13 and 14, and I just couldn't get any of her. And like it sucks. Like getting sniped is the worst, especially when someone's just free falling and you're like, oh please, just fall one more spot, one more. Oh, never mind. Like earlier, I almost got Jackie Young at I think it was pick 11 or 12, and it's who you're drafting with. I mean, you may be drafting with someone that's drafted a bunch of lines, and they're doing what we do. Like when we draft a whole bunch of different lineups, they're not drafting the exact same players over and over.
Gut P is definitely not here with us. He's a 150 maxer. So
Yeah, he is. He's just popping in these and entering them, which I respect.
Oh, absolutely. I know why, man. He's winning.
Take me some Ezzy. I love me some Ezzy. But hey, look, I want to see what you do here.
It's a tough one. So I've taken all these different combos.
Is Natasha Howard gonna fall to me?
It may happen.
But see,
I got NECA and Jewel are my two that are at the top of the list. And I don't have enough of NECA, so I'm definitely doing NECA. I've taken too much Jewel though. So
and see, like this is why I love pick 3, because you take Ezzy and then you're either getting Natasha Howard or a Seattle stack. So the pick 3 is probably my favorite of the picks so far that I've done. Like, see, I'm like I love starting with Ezzy and NECA or Ezzy and Jewel. I think their matchup is probably the best, just because Dallas just doesn't stop anyone.
Yeah, I had Jewel projected a little too high there for my first 28 drafts. So 50% Jewel, I need to kind of, a little bit
balance that back out.
A little bit back off that stance.
Let's see. So SDS went, like, for me, it feels like SDS, I think her projection's a bit high. I think it's close, but I don't think she should be out projecting like a Jackie Young.
Oh, yeah, definitely not.
I understand, like, Seattle, typically, like, their big four just command all the usage. Now that Horston's in the starting lineup, it's actually kind of balanced it out a little bit. I need to actually look at that.
That's a good point. Yeah, NECA's definitely seen a little uptick in usage in the last couple of games.
Let's see. If we look when they absolutely destroyed the Fever.
Who was Horston replacing in the lineup?
Vivian's. I don't know what took them so long. Like, see, Stephanie Dolson just went at 3-2 over Ariel Atkins.
Seems like a mistake.
I will gladly take Ariel Atkins. Thank you.
Yeah, I got these two picks pretty well decided pretty much every time.
They were pretty much given to you.
Yep.
And, like, see, right here, I don't have any Tierra McCowan. I don't have any Big T. And on a team like this where Ariel Atkins fell to me at 11, I'm fine taking a shot on Big T and just hoping that maybe she wants to play today.
Yeah, that's way down the list, falling all the way down.
Like, here's someone taking Ingsler over Aaliyah Edwards. Like,
big boy, BL1.
I just can't do that. Let's see. Back to the Seattle usage. This last game against the Fever, we had Horston at 14%, Ezzy at 17%. But, I mean, Ezzy was in foul trouble. Lloyd at 26%, NECA at 23%, and SDS at 16%. So, I mean, and then the game before that, let's see here, when they played the Sun and they practically played their starters virtually the entire game, 34, 33, 37, 37, 35. Horston had 12% usage, Ezzy 16%, Lloyd 25, SDS 24, and NECA 16. So it's really just super condensed. Most of the time, Ezzy's just not asked to do a lot on the offensive end. So she just racks up her stocks. She racks up the putbacks. That's what she's great at. Like, here's Kia Stokes here at 5'3". I think she's going to fall back to – oh, no, you're picking. You're going to pick her.
Fall back to you. Just so you know.
I am going to
– She might.
I
have 3 people ahead of her, so.
I'm going to take SWK. I don't have a lot of SWK, so
I don't have any Uzun right now, so I might mix in a bit of Uzun with my Stokes because I have a zillion Sheldon Stokes combos down here. So I'll pick an Uzun Stokes combo.
So this means I'm just gonna take Sheldon. I don't have a lot of her, and I am higher on her, so I do like taking her there. That's a fun team. I mean, you got the Seattle duo up top. I can't believe Atkins fell to 11, and then take the big risk on like a Big T. But SWK's minutes are super safe. Sheldon's minutes are somewhat safe. If she plays good, I think she could get extended and play even more. But I've been really happy. I think the 3 spot might be my favorite spot to draft at.
It's definitely day by day for sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Now 3 days ago, the 3 spot was the worst because it was clear that there was 2 top plays, and then it was guessing and hoping that you hit on your 3rd pick.
Yeah, today I kind of like 3 and 4. It just depends on if you like driving the boat or if you like, feeling like your predetermined choice situation, right? Like 3, you're kind of, even though you're going first, the 4 guy kind of drives the boat, just like in our last draft. But because you get that, there's only 4 choices between you.
I've been having just so much fun doing these drafts though. Like, just it's fun, like when the slate drops and just to see where they have everyone projected. Like, we got a 3-game slate tomorrow. It should be back to 6-player drafts, and they'll have ADPs out with them. And that's usually the bigger slates are when you can make the most money because ADP is off, projections are off. For me, the bigger slates, like right here, there is an edge on these 2-game slates, but there is a lot of variance. Like there's a lot of variance because if you go overweight on someone, and like I did with Lee Uru last night, it can absolutely sink you. Like I broke even last night and probably should have made a lot of money because I had a ton of Wnba. And then I had a ton of the late game in general, and Lee Uru just played like 8 minutes, and they played their starters just a ton.
Yeah, a lot of Lee Uru over here as well. But that is the nice thing about Underdog is you can't make yourself 100% Lee Uru that easy. My 24% of non-Lee Uru lineups still got.
Yeah. Good morning. Hope you guys are taking advantage of these Underdog drafts. I want to keep filling them so they keep popping these big contests, and the $3 it's underrated in my opinion. I mean, yeah, 300 to first, but I mean, it's a 3 entry max. Both of us have already maxed it. I love that they're doing multiple tournaments. I mean, only 756 entrants in the $3. It should fill. I mean, we still have plenty of time before they lock it up. The $5 3K to first, it should feel like they're looking good. I mean,
65% full. I don't know. I'm not so confident in this $5 one yet. I want people to turn up the heat a little bit here.
Yes. Well, let's do one more. Let's raise it a little.
Yeah, man.
I'm entering.
All right. Let's see. Is that the same one? Oh, hold on. Lobby. I think eventually limit you from joining the same ones with other people. But we'll see if that's happened here.
Let's see if we're in this one. We are in this one.
There we go.
1 and 4. We're actually far apart this time.
Yeah, there'll be with 4. It's a kind of risk that we would get the exact same draft order a couple times through. But yeah, there's very different drafts. That's good.
It's been good because like for this one, this will be our 3rd draft. You've had 1, you've had 4, you've had 4. I've had 2, 3, and then now 1. So we're getting a little bit of a disparity in picks. I mean, you're really not. You're getting first or last. But
yeah, you always tempted to cut it off whenever you got a high percentage of first draft picks or whatever, like I did for the whole last season of Underdog, like best ball. I had like 28% Justin Jefferson. I was like, that's enough. It's like 2x the field. I'm getting really lucky on my Justin Jefferson. injured in like week 2. So completely different. So,
yeah, and see, like that's just horrible luck. Like
it happens. It was the right move. I mean, I've been doing it this year every time.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure if you look back when you're doing those drafts, you're like, yes, Justin Jefferson, the surest thing in fantasy football.
Yeah.
But yeah, these I'm really really enjoying these. I got to get me one of them shields on my avatar though.
Yes, it's first black and then it's red, and I don't know what any of them mean.
Yeah, I don't either. I have no clue. I got an email.
It's like 1,000 or something. I imagine I've done 1,000 by now, and maybe like 10,000 or something. You get the red one.
Yeah, see, I don't typically do like a lot of like best ball drafts. I'll do a few, but I got an email talking about something gladiator. I thought it was the gladiator shield, but I guess it was something different because I don't have a shield.
Oh yeah. No, so the gladiator program or whatever, that's if you do a bunch of these daily ones.
Oh, and they give you the rake back.
Yeah, it's the rake back, and they give you half of it if you're doing a bunch of them, and then like a quarter of it. I forget what it is exactly, but it's definitely worthwhile. Okay, so this is.
Ooh, Joel Lloyd went ahead of Ezzy. Whoa.
Yeah, I don't know. This is an unusual combo to get in the 4 spot, so kind of.
Ezzy NECA is nice.
I think that's what I got to do. I don't have. Yeah. I've got one of those, but I don't have enough of those.
Yeah, that is nice. Good morning. Good morning.
Yes, I realized I didn't blast it to my Discord, so I've recently.
11:06. We'll get out of here in a bit, and then I'll be live before lock in an hour and a half. I'll get me a little break and then be right back on it.
I'll be tuned in from the beach. We're headed out for a beach day here in California.
Can't beat that.
Absolutely not.
It's like, let's see. I got on my phone already says excessive heat warning.
Ooh.
So let's see what the temperature. It is currently 90 degrees with the. It feels like with the humidity, it's 99.
Well, you probably got what 11 degrees of wet bulb temperature to work with there. Your sweat is still cooling you, so congratulations.
Man, Natasha Howard almost fell to me. Dang, that would have been wild. I already have a lot of like the Asia, Jackie, Plum trio, so I'm gonna go Jackie and Atkins here. Hopefully, if Washington keeps it close, it's gonna be because of Atkins, and I love having her. With the Asia stacks, but I have no problems. Like if you have pick one, going Asia, Jackie, Plum, and then hoping like crossing your fingers that Chelsea Gray makes her way back to you, and just going the 4 stack and figuring out the rest. Like I think that could just be the nuts. But it's really hard for Chelsea Gray to fall all the way to like fall back to you at 16.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm taking her way too early, I think, but it's I think her projection's too low. Like they've got her for 26.4, and I got her for like 30ish. So
yeah, like for me, she's like she would be like your first pick right here at 12.
That's I've got her and Dolson and Horston are my ones, and then I got McCowan. I have no McCowans at all, so I am thinking about eventually having them. Oh, look at that.
Went Chelsea Gray.
Somebody, Guppy, you watch the stream. Watch this. In which case, I'm sorry. I might have said something rude about Guppy. All right, so I will take. Yeah, it's a little high. And she's not that sure of a thing, but she has been doing well. Yeah, she's gotten so many minutes. She's hitting threes. I'm taking more Dolston. I can't stop myself.
Big Mama Steph.
And then we got a lot of Seattle Dallas here, yeah. So I'm gonna stick with that theme. Get myself some Horston a little early.
I love Horston at that spot.
She's just a free. She's like that was a bad game for her with 22. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean she's been really good since getting in the starting lineup, and she was playing well even before then. But they've really went to like almost they're running virtually like a girl rotation, with Whitcomb really the only one playing somewhat decent minutes off the bench, and even like her, she's seeing like 8 to 10.
Yeah, if she misses her shots, she's only getting like
Yeah.
that one or two.
She's getting like 5 or 6. Let's see. Well, probably getting Aaliyah Edwards here. I have so much Aaliyah Edwards, it would not hurt my feelings if
that was 5 and 6, I was going to be like, oh, that should be illegal. But 4 and 5, that's okay.
Mo Billings. So I will get Aaliyah Edwards here at the turn on the 4-5. Then it's really just deciding, do I go Stokes or do I go like more of an offensive upside play in like a SWK? But if we're keeping track at home, I have Asia Wilson, Jackie Young, Ariel Atkins, Aaliyah Edwards. I can just full game stack. And I think I am going to go SWK over Stokes just for her offensive upside. I think she is going to get to play some more. So I really like that, and we'll see who's there at the end. Obviously, don't love not having any Seattle or Dallas really, but Seattle for the most part because they're just playing their starters a ton.
Okay, this is the one. All right. Ooh, this is going to be interesting. I don't want to take those two together. So this guy, go ahead and take one of those two guys, and then I'll take the other two. It's the same one you have there. Yeah, those are also.
He took Uzum for you.
Perfect. That makes my decision easier. Although I kind of
knew that was coming. I think for this one here, I'm probably going Didi or Melbourne and just full on game stacking this game. I may go Hayes. It really just depends. I figure the two that'll get picked is Van Loo and probably Alicia Clark. Emily Ingsler has not been picked yet.
That's a little late.
Whoa.
6th, yeah, wow. Okay. People getting wise.
There went Van Loo. We'll see if there went Ingsler. So it's decision time between either Didi or Melbourne. Didi getting more minutes. Melbourne, the better offensive player. I'm probably going Didi just because I have none so far. I have a little bit of Melbourne, so we'll get a little Didi.
What do you think? I just had the decision about playing Uzun and Sheldon together, and I decided to not do that. What do you think?
That's why I figured you were hoping you didn't have to take both of them together. Yeah. I think they're fine together because they're really only running like the three. Like Lou Lopez is out of the rotation. They're not playing Suarez. Sims not in the player pool is kind of wacky.
A little annoying. I mean, they had a little while to do that. But I guess the first drafters had to be aware of it. So.
Yeah, but they're running really only 4 guards. I mean, you got Enrique is going to play practically the entire game. You've got Uzun and Sheldon both have been starting with Sims coming off the bench. Both play well. I think they could still touch 30-ish minutes each. I mean, Sims, I think that was the absolute ceiling game for Sims minutes-wise, fantasy point-wise. I'm going to project her around 18 to 20 minutes, but it wouldn't shock me if she comes in and doesn't do a lot, for her to maybe get down to that 15 to 16 range, just because they've shown willingness to play JC Sheldon practically the entire game because she's such a good defensive player. And they're going to need her guarding Lloyd.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of good plays down here in this low range, in the 6th round. There's merit to picking a bunch of them. I'm not crazy high on Alicia Clark with her minutes ticking in the wrong direction. And even Tiffany Hayes, while she has some upside, I would rather just play the minutes game with a Didi Richards or Melbourne or JC Sheldon or Uzun. Uzun is slipping. She's fallen a lot. Like if you look at Uzun on their actual rankings, see 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. They have her at 21. And I have her, I believe it's like 18. Let's see, 4. $17. I have Uzun at 17. So there's a pretty good disparity there. There's a lot of players, even on this small slate, that you can get leverage on for sure. Like we've mentioned before, like Jordan Horston, her projections just so bad. I mean, she had this last time out, she went 5, 4, and 5 with 2 stocks, put up 22 fantasy points, didn't have the best game, but still played 32 minutes. And without having a great game, that tells me that her minutes are secure. Like she's going to be out there no matter what. She's a great rebounder. She's a great defender. And if the shot's falling, I mean, she has well north of 30 fantasy point upside. Underdogs unite. Yeah. Got to win this money. I mean, somebody's got to, right?
That's how it goes. I think it's still true on Underdog. Haven't seen them. Let's see. Do I have any reason to do?
All right. You want to do one more and then call it a day?
Sure. Let's do one. Pop over here. Lobby. $5. Click.
All right. We should be in this one together since it's not very full yet.
Oh, I don't know. Mine says 2 more to start.
Mine does too.
Oh, sweet.
And now we got 1. Oh. Now you got 3 or 4.
Let's see. Yep.
We should be good for this one.
Okay.
We'll do this one and then get out of here so you can go to the beach and I can do a little bit more projecting. Oh, you got the 4 spot again.
Sweet.
4 spot. I can get a few things done before go live again. Let's see.
Always appreciate the coverage, Cody. Watched your video before started doing all my drafting this morning. So
I appreciate it. I've been like right as soon as the live stream's over, I usually try and get the next day's video done and then get it posted. Probably won't do that today just because it's such a split slate. Like there's no reason to rush the YouTube video out in like the early afternoon. So I'll probably record it a little bit before the second game starts and before the fight starts tonight, because I don't know if I'm going to buy the fights at home or if I'm going to go out to like Hooters or Buffalo Wild Wings or not. But I'm really excited. That fight card is nice.
It is. I was hoping it was an ESPN Plus fight card, but I do see that you do have to pay for it. So
yeah, and it's
do something.
I mean, they got it after like losing the McGregor fight. Like
right.
I'm down. I'm going Ezzy. I probably could have went NECA there just because I have quite a bit of Ezzy. But, man, I'm just so high on her.
Yeah, I don't have enough NECA Jewel. Well, I do have enough Jewel. So let me do a NECA Natasha weird one. And
see, like, this is what we just did just a minute ago. So we're both running our new one. Ezzy Jewel, we'll see kind of where it goes from here. But I would love Horston to fall back to me here at 11. She probably will, and if she does, that's who I'll go. I haven't really got that big Seattle stack yet.
My question is, do I get Atkins down here at 12?
You might. If it comes down to Atkins.
I doubt anybody.
Where goes Atkins?
He's pretty good.
There went Plum. So, yep, I'm going to take Horston. I'm sure you're going to take Gray.
Yeah.
All right, so that gets me the Seattle stack that I haven't been able to get yet. So I'm happy with that.
They've upped. Did they change McCowan's projection and it's even higher now? Yeah, now it's 28. They reprojected recently. Okay, I'm gonna do Chelsea Gray, and then I don't know. Do I need to take McCowan share here at some point? Maybe, but I like Big Mama too much. And she's gonna get the minutes. I can't with Shakira still out. I gotta take Big Mama.
I'm going to take Big T here. I did it the last time, but this time I have a full-on game stack brewing. Ezzy, Lloyd, Horston, and Big T. Nice. So we'll see. Maybe Big T will actually want to play. I will say that you can get to Seattle like down low. You can attack them. Big T had a really good game the first time they played, but she's not the same as earlier this season. She is semi checked out.
She looked good after 3 days of rest. I think that's what she needs at this stage of the season. I think it's kind of like, at the beginning of the season, what's her name? Boston was really slow as well. If you don't have those muscles and whatever endurance conditioning built up, then you can't handle it. But then also, if you're very old, you just can't handle it anyway because you're very old. So.
I'm really hoping Aaliyah Edwards falls one more spot. She did.
Woohoo! Nice. Wow, Tiara McCowan is 27. That's much younger than I thought she was.
5.3.
Wow.
Aaliyah Edwards. Thank you.
That's pretty dope. All right. I think I got to take these two. Is there anybody project? Yeah.
Stokes and Sheldon.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I still think Enxler in the last round's interesting-ish.
See, I have no Enxler, so I may go her. But man, I just don't know if she's going to get enough run, with Edwards back.
Oh, right, and this is the team you have Edwards on this team too. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm probably just going to go. I'm going to go Dee.
Like it.
So I got me a couple Washington. I have 0 aces, so that's not ideal.
It's bad in spades. No, I forget the rules.
All right. Well.
Yeah, fun stuff. Love to fill it up. Let's see, what are they at now? Is it 65% a while ago? Only at 67.6 now. So we got to go.
Let's look at my. Let's see here. Completed. They don't have it updated yet on the exposures.
Yeah, it takes. I don't know what they're. Like refresh, and then sometimes randomly it'll happen exactly when I want it to. I don't know.
Yeah, I was gonna check my my exposures. It does update a lot faster on the phone.
Yeah. Let's get it 34.
Let's see what it's got here.
71% Chelsea Gray is a bit aggressive.
So right now I have 10 drafts total. I have 80% Aaliyah Edwards.
That's good. A lot.
I have 60% Atkins, 50% Stokes. Yep. I'm pretty happy. Like Chelsea Gray, only 20%. I do not like that. She's going lower than she should, so that's not ideal. But like JC Sheldon, 30%. I've spread a lot of my late 5th, early 6th ownership around. Besides like Kia Stokes, I just have like 50% Kia Stokes is fine with me. But all right. Well, it was awesome, man. Thanks for hopping on. Had a lot of fun.
Cheers. Thanks for the invite, man. Let's do it again sometime.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll see you guys here in just a little bit for the Live Before Lock stream.